Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Why am I typing? Y'all can hear me. I'm so used to being on everybody else's live that I'm typing. I'm typing to you, Fatima. How are you, Fatima? I'm doing well today. That's funny. I was about to type my message to you until I realized, wait a minute, this is my live. I don't need to type. I'm still getting used to this. So today I wanted to talk about some of the challenges that I have being here. I'm not going to be here that long today um, because I have something that I want to do. Um, and so I'm only going to be here for an hour today. So it is what it is. Who joins us, joins us. If nobody joins, then that's fine. But thank God you're already here, and I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate your commitment and your dedication, Fatima. So I'm gonna wait about 5 more minutes to see if we get some other people in. But I do want to discuss some of the challenges that I have encountered since I've been here. And it's not only going to be okay, thank you. It's not only going to be my personal opinion, but I had somebody else had wrote some of their personal opinions as well, and so I am going to share that and also include that as a part of what I'm going to talk about. So I wrote it down. So let me look here and see if I can find it. All right. And so this perspective is coming from their 10 years being here in Ghana. And mine's going to be coming for the actual, it'll be 5 months that I've been here in Ghana. So on the 21st. And I'm going back home. I'm leaving at the end of this month. So I just wanted to give people a general view of what I found out. If you're interested in moving here, some things that I hear some people discuss in videos that I watched, because I'm pretty sure, Fatima, that you probably are very interested in watching videos that are related to people that are already building or living here in Ghana. And thank you for sharing with others that I was doing a live today. So, so, so this person wrote, after a decade of living and doing business in Ghana, here are a few lessons that stuck with them. And so the number one thing they said was systems may move slowly and people make things happen. And it says officials and other business processes can take time, but things move forward because of the people behind them. Relationships matter more than procedures. And I have found that that is absolutely correct. That everything, hi, Pit Life, welcome to the live. So, what I have learned is that is definitely true. And one thing also that I learned is because Ghana is a tribal country, that it's also broke down into tribes. Okay, so where I'm building my land building my dream house is in the region of where the Fontes live, and so they basically dominate that area, and so people respect people in different tribes still here. So like like for example, if you were in a person from the Asante tribe, which is more in the eastern part of Ghana, and then you coming over in the where Fonte region is, it may not be as smooth. So it's best if you are building in the Fonte region that the person that you're working with uh, um, also is from that region. Things will go smoother. You can get things done easier and quicker and faster. I've learned that. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, and yes, things go really, really slow. I'll give you an example. The other day, we went to go get something to eat, and it's like they when they prepare, and I'm from the U.S. And so in the U.S., they have the food already pre-cooked or what have you, but you never have to wait an hour for your food. And we had to wait a whole hour, and not we weren't the only ones sitting in the little restaurant. There were other people sitting there, but nobody was complaining. I mean, that's just the norm here. You sit and you wait, and for your food. It's just that's simple. So you do, when people say pack your patience, you definitely learn to pack your patience when you're here. You got to take your time about everything. And you don't want to be looked at in a different way, because politely they will ignore you. Okay. They will totally ignore you. So that's one thing that I have learned. Nobody's in a rush here. Nobody. Nobody's in a rush. You just gotta take your time. You gotta, when you come here, just remember, you basically going chill time. You might be in a rush, but because you're in a rush, don't make them be in a rush. They're gonna keep doing what they've been doing, how they've been doing, and nobody's gonna rush nothing for you. That's just how it is here. And building relationships are very, very important. I call it networking, because that's basically what Next Level Vision is all about: networking with people, bringing people together so we can reach the next level together. So, but building relationships is the same thing. It's very, very important here for you to build relationships and network with people. Because even when you go to the market, if you go to the market and if you go to a certain person and you develop a relationship with that person, you are able to get, you may not get overcharged on your food that you usually get. So please, if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying, please put it in the chat. All right. Okay. So a second thing, number 2, this is what the author of this person wrote. It's called, they said number 2 is caution runs deep and decisions take time. I'll sleep on it isn't just a saying, it's a common approach. Many people make decisions slowly and deliberately, often shaped by a background where risks carry weight. Quick answers are rare. Patience and persistence are your best allies. So Fatima said, I heard that when they say I'm coming could mean they will be there next week. Yeah, true. Like, nobody really cares about time. Nobody really cares about time here. I don't know why it is like that. I have not experienced the next week. Somebody saying they're gonna be here next week, but it could be the next day. Or if they say, like, nobody really cares. You just have to be patient and keep that in mind. That's very true. So yeah, so this person is saying, that, to walk, be cautious. So, don't be hastily make decisions about things. That's very important to keep in mind. You don't want to uh, pick life. I thought I gave you a wrench earlier. Let me see. I'm gonna give you one today. Maybe you weren't here with me before. So give you a wrench. Sorry about that, Pit's life. So now you have a wrench. Hi, Monique. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you all. I know it's like 9 o'clock in the morning where y'all are. It's after. It's 1 o'clock here. That's why I changed it to 1 so that it's not so early in the morning. Welcome. So I'm talking about different challenges, Monique, that if you're planning to come. Monique, are you planning to move to Ghana? I'm just curious. Or you just want to visit us? You want to visit me and Fatima? uh, you have to walk softly, carefully. Don't be hasty when you are moving about. Okay, great. Thank you, Monique. That's important that you don't move too fast here because you can make the wrong move or step on somebody's toes. Like, for example, I got the opportunity to meet a chief on a couple of days ago. And would I had known he was a chief because he didn't look like a chief to me. He was very young. He was looked like to me. He didn't tell me how old he was, but he looked to be in his late 30s or early 40s. Okay, but I know that where I'm living, he owns most like the building I'm living in. He owns that. He had this built. So thank you, Fatima. Thank you. Fatima. Oh, my daughter got on me because I was talking about you, and she said, "Oh, you said her name right." Fatima, thank you. The chief was in his late 30s or early 40s. And I asked someone to ask him if I could please do an interview with him. So if I see him again, I'll ask him because I didn't think about it. I was so mesmerized that I was meeting the chief because this man owns mostly all the buildings that's here, and he's still constantly building. Okay. So that was awesome to meet him and just to know, like, for example, if I did not know he was a chief, I would have just thought he was any old Joe Blow. But hey, he comes with a lot of I don't want to say power, but finesse. I shouldn't say finesse either. He has a lot of respect here in this community. Okay. You don't answer too quickly here. That's one of the things that they also, this particular author recommends. So number 3 is, it says, not all gaps are opportunities. Just because something doesn't exist doesn't mean there is demand for it. Validate ideals locally. Ghana has its own rhythm and follow it. Don't force it. Okay, so this is definitely a place where you can actually come for opportunities. This place should be known as the place or the land of opportunities because you can do so many things here. Because it's a developing country. So there's a need for many, many things, daycares, I think restaurants, skating rings, pool, entertainment places. Those kinds of things are definitely needed. Um, hey, Blaze, how you doing? Welcome, Blaze. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to hit I'm going to give you a rinse, Blaze. But we all know each other here. Yes. Thank you, Blaze, for joining me today. We're not going to be on that long today. So yeah, it don't take the dollar here because of the stuff, the shenanigans that who is just doing over in the U.S. The dollar is dropping rapidly, Fatima. Okay, like last week it was at 15.50. I'm just afraid to look at it today, but before I went to bed last night, it was at 13.0 something, 13.06. All right. So the dollar is rapidly dropping, which is a good thing for the people that live here. But for us who are moving here, it is not. So, yeah, but you can still, if you budget properly, you can still come over here and live well. Thank you, Fatima. I'm glad that what I'm telling you or sharing is helping, because these are things that I would wanted to know. All right. So number 4 is you can't outsource ownership. Leaving your business to you have to be involved and lead from the front. It's not just the business, it demands your presence, not just your signature. So that being said, and Fatima, I know basically you're having your house built, and I just hope that you have a great rapport. It appears that you have a great rapport with your. What I have noticed from being here. So I don't know if y'all saw my last video where I posted and I was looking for rice. I was looking for basmati rice. And somebody said, why were you walking past people that work there? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because I have found out through being here for the past few months that I've been here that there are times that you could talk to these folks here that live here who speak English or supposed to speak English. They still don't understand what you're saying. You can be speaking English and they don't understand what you're talking about. So asking them would have been no help. I'll give you an example. One day I was looking for some vinegar. And when I was looking for the vinegar, the girl told me to go down one aisle, and then she went down the aisle with me. She couldn't find it. Then she went down another aisle. She couldn't find it. And so, I was relying on her because she works in the store. Well, I came back like 2 days later, and it was a whole shelf full of vinegar, but it was not on the aisle where she was looking. So she just didn't understand what I was saying. So you find that a lot. Think back, if you see the video where I posted where I had my bed made, I had shared with the guy how I want my bed to be made. I wanted him to use leather, but he used some type of fabric, which looked like suede. And I told him I wanted it to be silver, the trimmings to be in silver. When I got to the actual location to pick up my bed, he had gold in it, and I didn't ask for gold. And not only did he not have gold, he didn't have leather. So it's like I said to him that I wanted leather. He said he didn't hear me say that. So you have to. So that's why I didn't ask the salesperson that was in the store, because a lot of times they never understand what you're saying. So and that's why I feel like it's important when I start building for me to be present, so I can make sure that they're doing what I ask them to do. And then I understand, even though you have a blueprint of your home, they still do what they want to do. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why they do that. It says, Fatima said they will say yes. Yes. They will say yes, even if they don't understand. Very correct. And they say, and so polite. Yes, madam. And you can ask them, did you understand what I just said? And they'll say, yes, madam. And then they'll come back with something totally different. So yes, I might have looked like I was crazy walking past people in the store that worked there. But the reason why I was doing that, because I feel like it was not important. Like I couldn't, even for me to say anything to them, I don't think they would have understood. But I had to say basmati rice. They wouldn't have understood what I was saying. So yes, they speak English here, but so also I know from being a language teacher, so I have a certificate in teaching English as a second language. And what I learned when I took the class that about the teaching English as a second language is many times people they can speak English, but the way they understand it, their comprehension of it is not connecting. So I think that's the issue that they're having here. They have an issue with the comprehension of it. And sometimes they tell me that I talk fast. And yes, I may talk fast, but because you all understand English, you all can understand what I'm saying. And sometimes I have to keep in mind that I need to slow down. So yes, they will say they understand. So don't take that. And sometimes what I've been doing is, can you please repeat back to me what you think you heard me say when I'm trying to do something important, so that I make sure that they got me. So the language is definitely a challenge, although they speak English. But you got to keep in mind, many of them speak more than one language. They speak several different languages. Not just, they may speak their native language, they may speak French, they may speak more than one. Like here in Ghana, it's about at least 10 or even more different languages that are spoken here. But the most popular one is Ga and Tree. And of course, English is supposed to be the official language here. Yeah, but sometimes you're right. I should speak slowly, Fatima. But even when I speak slowly, they still don't understand me. Even when I speak slowly, they don't understand. Okay, so like I don't know what would help. Like I said, I have them repeat it back to me and to tell me what they understand for me to say. Just tell me what you understood. And that's how I have to do it when I'm trying to do something that is important to me. But something like looking for rice, I knew if I stayed in there long enough, I would have found it, which I did eventually find my rice. It wasn't the brand I was looking for, but it was definitely the rice I was looking for. But I've been eating it, and it tastes pretty good. Blaze says we have more local languages in Ghana, but Tree is common. Yes, Blaze, I understand. So, do you know exactly how the number, Blaze, of how many languages? I know it's at least 10. It could be more. I think it's more than 10, but the most popular is Tree and Ga. Okay, maybe Blaze is trying to type out what he wants to say. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna move on to the next. I'll move on to the next point. So I'm only gonna be here for another half an hour, you all. Like I said, it's gonna be a short live. So can I noticed that we have 8 folks here. I mean, 8. Yeah, I have 8 people here. Can you all please hit the like button? Just hit the like button for me. Thank you. About 30. Oh my God. 30. That's a lot of different. Can you imagine 30 different languages? That is crazy. So maybe that's why, please help me out, Blaze. Why do you think, although I'm speaking English, that I'm misunderstood? Can you help me out with that? Oh, they're very, I'm telling you, yes, I totally agree. They are very highly intelligent here. Like I said, you can have anything, as long as you have the money, you can have anything created. You can have anything created. And you can just show them a picture. So the last point I want to make is this, he wrote is experience is valuable, but in the long run, it's loyalty, honesty, and a willingness to grow that truly shape a great team. I've seen people come in with a limited background, with limited backgrounds, but rise to critical roles simply because they cared, showed up consistently, and took ownership. Technical skills can be taught, but values like reliability, integrity, and humility come from within. So, hey, that, I haven't been here long enough to find out about number 5, but I will, because I will be back. This is my new home. I'm almost afraid to leave with all the craziness that's going on. I'm afraid that maybe I won't be able to come back. Who knows? This man is losing his mind. Like I said, the dollar is dropping rapidly. It's dropped $2 down. The CD has dropped $2. So we're rapidly losing, losing out. But I've also heard that the dollar usually drops down, or the CDs usually drop down during the rainy season. I don't know why, but what I can tell you, okay, wow, okay. Thanks for sharing that, Monique. So Monique says that she haven't told us, but her husband's father was not in his life, but he is from Ghana. So yes, it is sad. It's very sad. This man is crushing. He's crushing the U.S. He's tearing it apart. Nobody wants to be a part of us. People are leaving. I was looking today. A lot of people who usually visit, go to Las Vegas. They said some of the casinos have had to close because they don't have the traffic, the tourism that they used to have. So he's crushing the U.S. and nobody seems to be. I mean, well, I know Congressman Al Green has just filed. Well, he says he hasn't actually filed them yet, but he has some articles of impeachment. But another young lady who I follow, I can't remember her name right now, but she also, they filed articles of impeachment against him. So we just have to wait and see. And I don't know if you all noticed, I just want to bring this out, that President Traore, yes, it is. But you have to be here to be making that kind of money. We not, we bring in American dollars, Fatima. So if I had a business here, that would probably, be great. To have the, the Ghanaian, the CDs to be increasing, but we come in with the US dollars, which means that you can't, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to all work out. This is my first experience. I'm just hoping I can survive. Okay. So yes, President Traore on the 30th of April was a global protest, which, in the US was not, nobody talked about it from what I hear. I've been posting, well, when I posted them on Facebook, it's not getting showed. You have to go to my page to see it. And so I said, wow. So I've only been sharing this information with my friends. Please hit the like button. if you're listening and haven't commented. But hello and welcome to everyone. I see that I have 9 people on here. So please hit the like button if you haven't done so. Um, English is taught in our schools, so it depends on the person you meet. Some are educated and others not. So although they may understand a bit English without attending any school. Oh, okay. Thank you, Blaze. So yeah, the other day I had bought some bread and I just took a slice out of it, and I didn't want it, and I paid, to me, was quite a bit of money for the bread, and because it was sourdough bread, and I had them bring it from like 2 hours away from a bakery, but I didn't like the bread. So I gave it, I was trying to give it away. I gave it to the guys next door. And when I was asking him if he wanted it, he could not understand me. I said bread. I kept saying bread. I slowed down. I said bread. Would you like some bread? He did not understand what else. I had to actually go get the bread and bring it to him. And when I did that, he was so happy. He was like, "Oh, thank you, madam. Thank you, thank you." He said, "Oh, bread." I said, "Yes. Isn't that what I was saying?" He said, "Yes, but you was talking too fast." So, like I said, I don't know. I don't understand. I try to say it slowly, and they still don't understand me, Blaze. So yeah, yeah, that was funny. But he was happy to get the bread. Yeah, I find myself like I bought some sour sop. Okay, and so I bought it before, and it was delicious, but I didn't know that if it's not soft, that you shouldn't eat it. And I ate some, I sliced it and was just eating it. And why did it make me feel nauseated? Like I felt really nauseated, and I want to maybe you can show them a picture next time. No, I just went and got it. Yeah, but that's what I usually do when I'm trying to communicate something. I have to show a picture. You're right. But so the sour sap, explain to me, Blaze, if you eat the sour sap and it's not completely ready to be eaten, you can get sick from it, because that's what happened to me. I mean, I actually feel really, really nauseated from eating the sour sap, and it wasn't completely soft, and I didn't know you couldn't eat it like that. So, because sour sap is so important. It helps you, prevents you from getting cancer. It's just like a really sweet. It's a sweet fruit, and its taste is delicious when it's right. But when it isn't right, I guess you can get sick. Because I started getting sick. So I ended up throwing it away. So to me, that's one of the reasons why I came here to Ghana, because like I said, the first time I came to Ghana, I only stayed 2 weeks, and that was 30 years ago. But I do remember the wonderful experience that I had within the 2-week period that I was here. And so, and I also visited Nigeria. And when I visited Nigeria and Ghana is so opposite from one another. The people in Nigeria, my personal opinion, were more hostile. And it's like, like my daughter said, it's like New York on steroids. Okay, so it's like so many things going on constantly. You got to constantly watch your step. I mean, you have to watch your step here, but like I said, people move slower, except for when they driving. Except for when they driving, that's a whole different experience. I always try to capture. I have a few videos showing, people driving, and it just always scares me because of the women that are trying to sell things on the street, with the things on their heads, their baskets on their heads, I don't want to see anybody hurt. or they just trying to make a living, which I understand, but um, they create their own lane. Like what we were in a 3 lane on a 3 lane street, and they had created 3 more lanes, so it was like 6 lanes, makeshift lanes, and that kind of that's kind of scary, and that's why I kind of think, and I always think of myself as a wonderful driver, but I'm really fearful of driving here. Yes, Blaze, Nigeria is way different than Ghana. And like I was telling my daughter, no way I would even want, like what I'm doing now, coming to Ghana as a single woman, senior, to build. I would never attempt to do that in Nigeria. No way. No freaking way. It's that different. So, it's getting hot in here now, y'all. I don't have AC because now I've always preferred the natural air. I ceiling fans, but even when I had, you know, in my house, I seldom would use. It had to be really, really hot. I seldom would use my AC. I prefer the natural air because that's the type of person I am. And even my car, I prefer it had to be super hot for me to turn the AC on in my vehicle. Um, I prefer the fresh air blowing in my face. So I did not buy a AC here. I do have ceiling fans, and I noticed here one thing I like about here is always a natural breeze. Like although it can be hot, it's a natural breeze. Oh, thank you, Monique. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Monique. Um, so yeah, I can understand.